Hi, today is Valentine's Day. It is absolutely my mom's favorite holiday. When she was alive and with us, she would always give us little trinkets, chocolates, teddy bears, cards. Hallmark specials were one of her favorites, right? She had a deep love well. And she not only were able to fill it up through the romantic comedies and giving her kids things, but she also took seriously her call to love on others. My mother would help strangers. She really didn't know a stranger. She would help strangers. She made a lot of her work surround around caring for others. She always looked for those who were the most in need, and she would provide care. She had a home for the elderly. Growing up, she had a boarding home for people who were mentally challenged and took in people who some people who were afraid of and probably otherwise wouldn't take in. We had adult foster care in our home where we cared for people who were developmentally disabled. She had a deep love well, and that propelled her sense of justice where she knew she was going to stand up for those who were considered least. And so that's where I get this call from. I think her influence is what definitely pushed me into taking on this work of racial justice. And so, as we think about this day, and we think about it a lot of times of lovers and the ways that we connect with our significant other, I want us to really think about how we take the love that we've been given and how do we show that to others, those who may be most in need. And right now in our country, racism is under attack in that so many people are even denying that it exists. Yet again, we still have to struggle to prove that racism is still happening, that racism is something that we must talk about, and that it must be addressed. It is a place for us to pour our love into to make sure that racial justice really happens. And one way that I try to do that, and I've been really uh, uh, paying up more attention to as I do this work is really showing up and showing my love for communities of color. The Sankofa Project is a project I started during COVID 19 in 2020. Once I started hearing the disparities that were happening across the Black community, across the Native community, the attacks against Asian Americans, stupid words like kung flu. Recently, one of my friends who's Korean was attacked from her car. Someone threw and hurled a bottle at her and said nasty words to her. So those kinds of incidents that were happening in 2020 and still happening today just made me knew I had to do something. It called forth that love I already had in me, and I was using already in this work of educating and doing a lot to work with white communities on educating them about racism. I knew I needed to pull in and put my love towards those community colors and say, "Hey, I see you. I love you. I'm here for you." And so the Sankofa Project was the way I've chosen to do that through two projects, the Sankofa Box, which I really call a hug in a box, where we provide a pamphlet that discusses racial trauma, grief, and mental health, and encouraging people of color to really take care of themselves. And so I put in the box self care items. It's coloring sheets, it's pastels, it is scents and crystals, soaps, just different things that they could do a little something to have that time for themselves and take care of, nurture themselves, and replenish themselves after just fighting and having to deal with racism. And so that project, when we kicked it off for the first year, we gave away 100 boxes, worked with various organizations to do that and make that happen in the city. The other part of the project has been the Black Joy Retreat, which has definitely been my joy. That came into manifestation last year on the heels of the Chauvin trial, and just feeling like we as Black people have been through so much, just needed to retreat. And so folks can come to those retreats just to relax and release. And so I encourage you on this Valentine's Day to pour your love that you have not only into the people you know and the people that are around you, and not only to your little sweetie honey pie, but really think about how you can show some love towards the fight against racial justice. We encourage you to donate. I'm asking, since this is Black History Month, I'm asking people just to give $28. If you want to give more, please do give more. The Sankofa boxes cost us anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks to create, and to sometimes I mail them out, and that's what increases the cost. But join us, give love today, be loved today. Let's do what we can to stand against the hatred that is consistently being perpetuated. And what better day than to think about how we can show love and be loved than today? Happy Valentine's Day.